rubber duck debugging, and how to ask good questions. If you haven't heard the story about rubber duck debugging, I'm not sure exactly where it comes from, but the story is there's some old graybeard developer at the company, at the job. And whenever junior developers come over and ask him a question, before they finish asking their question, he says, go ask the duck. He's got a rubber duck that sits on his filing cabinet or something. And so they have to formulate their question and ask the question to the duck first. So the idea is it's an exercise in how to formulate a good question, but a lot of times they answer their own question while they're trying to formulate a good question. Because one of the most important things to do when you ask a question is to explain what you've already done. Do you want someone, when they're giving you help, to say, oh, did you restart your computer? You want to give the list of all the things you did already, so that you save a whole bunch of back and forth. Well, did you try this? Did you try that? So that's number one. And a lot of times when you go through that list and you say, well, I did this, and then I checked that, and I was looking at this, that's when you realize, I didn't check that actually, or there's this thing that I kind of overlooked. So rubber duck debugging, always try that method first. Just try writing up your question as best you can. What else when you're asking? I feel like some of these are obvious, yet I still see the same kind of questions in the chat. What is X? Now, granted, sometimes that question's okay, but generally you should just go Google it. Google something first, and if you still don't understand it, ask for clarification. But people will get annoyed if you ask really simple questions that are very easily found yourself. What else? Politeness. Don't demand. Nobody there. It's not like our chat is paid support. I'm sure it's Stack Overflow, anywhere else you're asking your questions. People are volunteering their time, so you want to be polite. Saying thank you goes a really long way too. Some people don't even say thanks after you help them figure out a problem. They just kind of leave. Not a big deal, but politeness goes a long way, especially if you want to be part of the community, you want to come back, and you want to ask more questions. Those are my favorite kind of people, by the way. People who you see back again and again asking questions, because you can tell they're persisting, they're continuing to work on something, and they're continuing to learn and ask questions. Sometimes if you ask a real basic question, someone might just point you in a direction. They may say, you need to search ABC, because maybe you don't know the right terms. You don't know what a good search is. And that's one thing you can mention if you already did. You can say, I tried searching for this and that, or that and the other thing. Because that'll tell people whether maybe, you don't know the terminology, or here's how you can tweak your search to really find what you're looking for. So don't be afraid to ask questions, but try and do some homework first. The other tip I have for you is RTFM. Read the freaking manual. Take some time. Go look through the documentation for your project first. Do some searches first. Search Google. Search some Stack Overflow. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever had to post a Stack Overflow question, because somebody else has always already asked the question I'm looking for. So it's about getting good at searching, which is a skill in itself. So a legitimate question, if you're having trouble with something, is what would be a good search term? That's a humble question to ask, and people, I think, would be very helpful there. Sorry, it's a little cold out here. It's 50 degrees in Texas, which is freezing for us. So yeah, those are some tips on asking good questions. Do you have any more tips? I'm sure I'll think of some more in a minute. Leave a comment if you have any more. And I know this isn't my normal style of video, but I'm trying something new. try to put a face to the channel. And right now, Saturday night, we played some categories earlier. I'm sitting by my backyard pond. I don't normally smoke cigars, but I am smoking one tonight. So Saturday, holiday, Christmas time. I hope everyone else is having some good holidays. Leave a comment though if you have any other ideas on asking questions. I'm also curious. Anybody out there ever had bad experiences asking a question? Because one of the common things that you see a lot is the Linux community is not very friendly. They're real arrogant jerks. And same with the programming community and the hacking community. Well, it's because people spend a lot of time learning, and when people come in and they just kind of expect handouts, it doesn't work that way. You have to show you've put in effort. That's the thing. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be advanced. But you have to show that you're putting in effort. You have to show that you are trying to get to the answer too. You can't just tell me how to do this, or can someone give me the code that does this? Wrong questions to ask. How would I go about coding this, or how can I get started approaching this problem? Much better questions to ask, because you're showing that you plan to do the work yourself and you want to. You're looking for some assistance and guidance, not somebody to do it for you. I've had people demand code in a way. I get these direct messages and they're like, hey, will you code 2 Discord bots for me? No. And then they do the shaking my head, angry face, and then they block me. Maybe it was just because I wasn't very polite. I literally just said no. I'm not, I'm sorry, I don't have the time. No, I'm not going to code 2 bots for you. Why would you think I would just do that for you for free? People can be silly, but I realize, there's people of all ages out there trying to learn too. So some people don't know. I was probably that dumb kid once, but when I started searching and programming, it was Alta Vista and GeoCities. There was animated GIFs everywhere. Different time. Google, Stack Overflow, GitHub. GitHub's a huge thing. I started programming with QBasic. Danny Web. I think that was it. There was a tech website. They had a forum. I remember asking some questions there, and I remember posting some horrendous code too. It's probably still there. But anyway, over and out.